and everything. It's so well drawn, actually, for people to understand. And because that, I think my maths got A.
Oh, nice.
Just because of reading comics. So I can even tell this to my teacher. Is like, I read comics to get A.
Well, that really showcases the importance of art to bring science and maths. And wow, that's a wonderful story.
Join us in the realm of holistic human, where we explore the essential elements that empower us to flourish, revealing our hidden potential and nurturing our growth.
Good morning, holistic humans. We are here on another podcast session, and today,
good morning.
Good morning. We have Kendrick here with us, and Kendrick is actually an artist. The reason for having Kendrick on board is that my company name and what I'm doing is to bring people to a state what I call a holistic human, which is a person who is performing at their best and aligned in the terms of mind, body, heart, and soul. And I believe art nurtures the soul. And I reached out to Kendrick as far back as 2019. Why? Because I felt that art can be a powerful voice. Art can be extremely thought-provoking, yet neutral in its stance, and it's a way to reach the masses, to allow them to think about issues that really matter, while cutting across social, political, and racial divides. Art, to me, has the potential to be a cohesive force. So that's why I've got Kendrick on with us today. Kendrick, I think I may be inadequate in describing what you do. How would you describe what you do?
All right. Okay, hello everybody. I'm Kendrick. Online, people call me as KendyLife. So there's a reason to that, why it's called KendyLife. But first thing first, I am an comic artist and also illustrator. Okay, my type of illustration is based on doodle. So that's what I always do. And most of my doodles actually associated with emotions. Yeah, one of my actually key point of KendyLife is helping people by putting a smile through arts. So that's what I'm doing on a daily basis. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. So back to a quick one about why it was called KendyLife. KendyLife is actually a brand, Candy and Life together. So as my name is called Kendrick, but I have a Vietnamese lecturer who keep calling my name in a very fast way, and it becomes Candy in the process. So yeah, that's how KendyLife is born. Okay, back to you.
Okay, and just now your tagline was like bringing a smile through art.
Yes, correct.
Wow, amazing! I love that. And your focus is actually on emotions. And Kendrick, what are you working on at the moment, if I may know more?
So currently, I am working on a project that is based on cloud. Cloud is moving around every day, and it's changing shapes, right?
Yes.
So apparently, I opened a poll in my page last month. Yeah, and I asked them, there are 4 things that triggers, in a way, I just tell them, I have a project that is coming. Please choose the best that you think you want me to pursue in. So actually that 4 things was an emotional trigger. For example, cats. When an animal comes, you feel at ease and everything. You change your emotion immediately when there's a kitten running around, for example. So that's one of the thing. And one of them is also clouds. So apparently the highest vote is cloud. So yeah, so I'm actually in progress of doing this. Yeah, it's actually a secret. I haven't actually launched it yet, but it's coming. It's coming. It's coming probably after the Raya holidays. Yeah, the Raya holidays. Then I'm gonna launch it. Yeah, so stay tuned.
Okay, looking forward to that.
Thank you.
Back to the art as a powerful force, and you focus on emotions, which I love. I think something that gave Malaysians a smile on their face and banded them together during the dark period of COVID-19 was actually called COVID Ball Z by Ernest under the author name of Bro Don't Like That Lah Bro.
Exactly.
What do you think of that?
So it's actually a very good way to actually convey. To be honest, let me take a little bit back in time. I believe that everybody do agree. Before the words came out, people only visually they see what people draw. Yeah, even from the caves to any civilization history. Because they don't understand how to read, some of them, they rather you look at pictures for them to understand. So that's same towards COVID Ball Z. What he did is very brilliant because during COVID, there are a lot of news happening everywhere, including politics, including what happened to the country.
Yeah.
So he think like, I don't think people will naturally go and read all of those unless you actually have time to actually read it. So what he did is he actually drew a comic that combines all the latest trends, news, and what happened into one short chapter of a comic. And guess what? It boomed so fast because everybody got to understand and with a sense a little bit of humor. So that's something that touches everybody.
Yes.
So and then in the end, one of the best comments ever that say that this is the best news update that I ever seen. By just reading comic and I know what's happening already, which is true.
Yes.
It's not exactly fake. Yeah, even though they make it a little bit dramatic, but then you know what's happening. So that's the whole thing of drawing comics, visually appealing to people.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks for noting it out though. Yeah, I think my bro will love that, man.
And both of you have the same surname. Are you in any way related?
No, sadly no. But then yeah, but we know each other since way back where we just started our lives as blogger. We're comic bloggers actually in the beginning.
Oh, I see. Nice.
Yeah, but he went very fast, very far, which is I'm very proud of it.
You do?
Yeah, I took a different approach, more of a slice of life, slightly slower. Yeah, but why not?
Will you tell us a little bit more, like when you use art to convey emotions, in what space do you do that, and how have you used that as a healing power, or how did you use that to touch lives? I would love to learn more about that.
So in a starting point, usually I started through traditional ways, get a piece of paper or anything from your textbook, and then you start scribble on it. So that's how I started. But I just realized one thing. Sometimes when you start doing all of this activity, your mind just start to focus on one thing. So in a way, it's not to say that it's tunneling your vision, but it's more, let's say nowadays in this world, there's a lot of things happening around you. And then you don't know what happened in social media, noise from everywhere.
Correct.
Because of information. Yeah, there's too many information for you to process. But human can only do so much. So sometimes by focusing on drawing, that's how I did. There's too many on my mind. So I just get any pen or pencil and I just scribble of what I know. So we call it in a scientific way, it's called mind mapping. It's actually, that's how mind mapping works actually in the beginning, but you don't know because we're just creative people until someone actually realized that and told me, hey, you look like you are very good in mind mapping. Oh, what's that? Yeah, so technically that's how people do because they just don't know how to convey it in points. I turn it into something that I understand myself, and then eventually people read it like a comic. And that's how people understand. Yeah. Yeah, that's how I started my doodle, to be honest. And then the more I do, I realize that I can actually make people smile is because sometimes they feel very stressed, feel very sad. I just do a short one pager, like a cute thing, to cute cartoon on it. And I just put a sentence, don't give up, for example. I just give it to them. They look at it, they feel like this. Immediately they change their emotion because probably no one has been, giving this kind of thing to them for the longest time. And I believe that people will just WhatsApping and say never give up. There's too many people doing it already until you don't feel the importance of it. Suddenly you give a small piece of paper with someone drawing it, you suddenly feel differently. Yeah, that's how I start to pursue, to be honest, doing more of this. Yeah.
I see. I am also a very pen and paper person. And although I know ebooks and audiobooks are all the rage, I still need the touch of a book and then the smell of a book. And then when I write my own notes, I still need pen and paper. Electronically, yes, I do use it, but it doesn't cut the same. Yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, yeah. And then even though nowadays I am doing both equally, traditional and digital art. So even my latest wish for the Hari Raya is actually in digital, but last year I did it in traditional. So playing with both in a way, yeah. Because some people, especially the current generation, they prefer to look more in digital, but because to them traditional is expensive, especially art. Yeah, it's an expensive hobby, but to me, we started off in traditional, right? So it's not expensive in a way. Yeah, to me, yeah. So everybody has their own point of view. Yeah, I'm doing both actually. So both, as long as it reaches the target audience that I want, it helps them. So by all means, continue doing it. Yeah. So it's 50-50 for me, traditional and digital.
Okay. I just pop a question that comes to my mind.
Yeah.
with the advent of AI and Mid Journey, is it a threat, and how do like artists respond to that?
Okay, to be honest, that one it's very, how to call it, very sensitive topic actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially AI. Based on my opinion, okay, AI is not gonna go away. It's by hook by crook. It's gonna change the world. It's already changing the world. So I took this example from farming.
Mm.
By the way, the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm actually at the same time, while I'm actually as a full-time artist, I'm also helping my dad in my farm. So I use farm as a means of example. So in the past, farms in America, that's a lot of farmers in the population, maybe on the 1800s during that time. There's just a lot of farmers working at the farm. It's like the staple. Then suddenly come the tractors, and that changed the whole farming industry. You can produce more, but you do not need much human. And during that time, it's what happened to AI. The example is similar to AI, where everybody condemn the tractors. They shout about it. They say you took away my job, blah 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 blah. But then in the end, tractors still continue moving on, and it gets more and more. And now look at today, lesser people work in the farm, but there are lots of machineries. But then the production increase. Even though you may want to stop everything, eventually it changed the whole course of history. Is gonna disrupt. Definitely gonna disrupt. AI already disrupt. So let's go back a little. Okay, go back to the current one. Let's say arts AI. I see a lot of people was not happy with that. All of those. There's a lot of ways to actually counter that. Regardless how it is here to help us to ease our job. It's not here to take over our job. This is me as an artist, because to be honest, art is very abstract, to be honest, and in different lies on the eyes of the beholder. So it depends on anyone who likes it. Okay, so even though there's actually a joke that I heard, which is actually true, in order for someone, okay, for someone who is not art literate to use an AI to create an art, you need to have a very precise prompt. So it's the same as when you commission me to draw. I can still reason with you. Yes, there will be many like rounds of changing the design, but as an artist, only the artist can actually make the artwork looks very genuine, because regardless no matter how powerful your prompt is, how your prompt is into the AI, it won't be as good as when you're working with an actual artist. Yeah, this is what I want to say. Because regardless how, AI is just an AI. It's
just a tool.
It's a robot. It's a tool, and it's a robot. So you can ask a robot to draw from A to Z. It can mimic everything. Yes, but then will it increase production? Yes, it will increase, and it's faster, right? It helps the economy. This is one thing I want to say. It helps the economy. It won't bring away the creativity of artists. So the only way for artists to actually do that is to move forward and work together with AI, not to utilize it as a tool. So to me, I sometimes I use AI to look for inspiration. To be honest, yes, we do have Pinterest to go in and check what is copyright. Sometimes the things that I draw may be inspired by an artwork that an artist already done like maybe years back. It's just that you think in your idea, is that copy? Is that considered copy? Or is that considered so it's actually inspired, but people may say that I'm copying another. So what I'm saying is it's similar to AI. AI get a lot of information from the World Wide Web, from different servers around the world. So while they're getting it, they just say that, okay, you say you want a bottle, for example, bottle, they just get it lah. And they say bottle that comes from Asian. So they just get something from Asian. So they just get and then put it together. Yes, they may get information that is actually from the artist, and they may say that it's copying and everything. But then once they come up with a new thing, it's actually a tool for artists like me to actually that's actually a good way of conveying that kind of art. So in the end, it's also up to how we use the tools. Are we using it for something that is not inhuman, I can say? Yeah, because AI is just AI. Regardless how, we rely on them to help us to quicken out our process. So to me, I actually use it for reference. Even the hand, I can say, I can't purposely, okay, let's say if I go to stock photos, I'm looking for a human with maybe a bicep, but Asian. It's one of the hardest to find actually. If you type that, it's usually the other side. But Asian, you want to find that, it's not easy. And you want that, like, they call it the mannequin style, so that you can turn it into your own cartoon. So you need the inspiration. So usually, how do you do it? It's so hard to find. You wasted a lot of time just to look for a perfect photo, right? But then we just one click on an AI, it can give you something and it inspires you to create your own hour. That's how artists, to be honest, a lot of artists actually is using as a reference to create their own hour based on that. So that is no longer copy already.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So to me, this is my point of view, is AI won't go away. What we can actually do is to work alongside with AI to our creativity input. Because AI is actually helping us. It's not taking over. Regardless how. No one will actually, yes, they may use AI to create certain business like copywriting, all of this, besides art lah. But to me, if you are good in using AI and implementing your own creativity style, and you are unique, you're one in a million. So people want not because of the AI.
Yeah.
It's one because of you are unique and they want you.
Exactly.
That's what I see about it lah. Yeah.
I believe that.
So it's a bit hard for me to actually explain in detail, but yeah.
I think you did a very good job there. Yeah. And I also believe that tools are tools, and tools have come and evolved throughout human history, like what you said.
Exactly.
And how we use tools to better our own lives and our productivity, and not fall into the, fall into despair because of something is coming and then giving up all hope, but actually to learn and how to incorporate it into our skill set.
Exactly. Okay, let's get back a little bit on the tractor again. You still need humans.
Yeah.
Yes, they may be automated. They may take away your job. So if that's the case, turn into a tractor mechanic or of a tractor farmer specialist. Yeah, you done. People will still want you, and you are still a farmer. Yeah, something like that. So if you don't give up, you lost lah. In a way. Yeah.
Okay. Kendrick, what would you say is the journey of an artist in Malaysia? What is your journey like going into this field?
Oh, it's actually pretty much not easy. It's very hard actually. So I started off just drawing for fun, of course. And then, to be honest, when I started all of those, I have a full-time job. So there, in the past, it's always been my role in a certain company, like marketer by day, artist by night. That's why I've been carrying that post for the past 5 to 6 years. Then after that, I start to run my own company in KL in the past, and then it changed to just the only thing that changes is the first sentence, entrepreneur by day, and then the artist is never changed until today. Yeah, artist by night. In Malaysia, artists in a way is not very appreciated by the community. It's very hard. We do have a lot of talents in Malaysia, but it's just that we don't know how to. A lot of people, they don't understand how to use art as a medium actually to run. But then it's not to say entirely bad. Okay, in Malaysia itself, there are still a lot of room to grow. That's one thing I like. Yeah, so yeah, I came a long way. It's been 19 years since I started. Yeah.
Wow.
So I've been drawing since young. But why I say 19 years, I started off that. I counted that is because I started to earn my first pay by drawing something, and that's how I calculated that. So it's been 19 years.
Lovely. Okay.
Yeah.
And with your lens looking back 19 years, can you describe the importance of art in education?
Yes. So art in education, in my point of view, is very important because in order to educate, because a lot of nowadays there's a lot of people staying in the city and everything, and yet they can't experience the actual thing, most of the thing. For example, flowers. Or even the national flower of Malaysia, the Bunga Raya. Where can you find the Bunga Raya? Sometimes in the city, they don't even know what is that. They can only visualize it, and then they can only draw. So the only way to actually let them know a bit is, yes, by photos, it can be, yeah, or by drawing or art. And at the same time, art actually plays a very huge role actually when in the progress of teaching young people to understand. By mixing and matching the colors and everything, people will understand. People will be more creative. Okay, by growing the mind. Yes, yeah, it can nurturing your left brain as well. You need some right, like, connection and everything. So that's what I'm actually doing, by the way.
Mhm.
I'm actually doing by teaching school children on and off. They invited me to attend their school, and they use art as a means to actually. This is surprising. I didn't know that I can actually use art to teach science. For example, building a model of a neutron, you still need something to build,
Mhm.
correct?
Yes.
So what I did, I just teach the students to use newspaper to build those atoms and everything and turn it around. And then those line, yes, it's just metal and everything, but then once you turn it, it's art.
Mm.
Yeah, and then if they want to make it move, to make the electricity, everything, that's their own creativity and also the innovation.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's one thing that that's the reason why I'm back in Sabah as well, is
Mhm.
to innovate the young generations to nurture, not to nurture the art
Mm.
while growing up, because I think we do need this lah. We are lack of that actually. Yeah, last time we used to, in the past, it's easy because we can go out, look at nature and everything.
Mm.
But now everything is urbanized. Wow, you can only see this in maybe what in TikTok. Even in TikTok, it's so less. You can only see this in online,
Mm.
and that's why I came back and then I try to use art in a
Mhm.
ways to as a fun activity for them to like. Even maths, by the way. Oh yeah, I can show you one thing. I was inspired. Okay,
Mhm.
talking about science, I used to be very bad in math. Okay, but I suddenly got so good because there is. But I have a childhood idol, Doraemon.
Yeah.
Okay, Doraemon is one of my childhood idol, and apparently my dad bought a comic book which is Doraemon,
Mhm.
but the whole thing about the comic book is about maths.
Mm.
Yeah, it's about maths, and
Mm.
it's actually translated in Chinese only. It's
Mhm.
done in Malay.
Mhm.
It's not those typical. It's actually what you call it, a sub comic where
Mm.
they actually use it in Japan schools
Mhm.
and Taiwan schools,
Mhm.
and then it was translated into Chinese, and then you can only buy this in Chinese bookstores,
Mm.
something like that. So
Mhm.
my dad got it, and then the title of the book is Doraemon.
Mhm.
Shasta is called something, and then it says the power of plus and minus and
Mhm.
all the formulas around it. So small word, and then I
Mhm.
was like, I didn't know that time. I was still young. But then when I read the comic, I understand what is the usage and which comes first when there's a bracket and everything. It's
Mm.
so well drawn, actually, for
Mhm.
people to understand. And
Mhm.
because that, I think my maths got A,
Oh,
just
nice.
because of reading comics. So I
Yeah.
can even tell this to my teacher. Is like, I read comics to get A.
Oh, that really showcases the importance of art to bring science and maths. And wow, that's a wonderful story.
Because to be honest, it's hard even as myself.
Mhm.
Maybe I'm too creative, but if my children or my next generation doesn't understand what I'm talking, maybe I'm just too creative. My brain may think they know, but they won't know. So the best way to do is I draw something and say, show you this. And then they look at it, that's how they understand. So to me, I think art brings a lot of people together
Mhm.
besides
Yes,
food.
yes.
Yeah. But art, in a way, it brings culture, everything together. So it also can pass down your generational, because like culture and everything. Even your altar was designed in the past, for example, regardless what which religion you're coming from.
Mhm.
And it represents significance. So to me, that is actually art. But just
Mm.
people use that and bring it until today. Or else there's what? There's nothing. Even
Mhm.
the word of mouth can change.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you were to expand that, some
Mm.
people may wonder what is the role of aesthetics in a working adult's life. And but we know that from Maslow and expanded hierarchy that aesthetic needs and cognitive needs are actually just a few levels before self-actualization and transcendence. How
Yeah.
would you describe the role of aesthetics in an adult's life? Who I think a lot of adults may think that art is dispensable. I only learn it as a student because I have to. How would you elaborate on that?
I think that's, to me, I think the aesthetics way, right? I
Mm.
think it was shaped by society. Everybody like say art is only for kids, or really that kind of thing. And then it's because, oh, being an artist, there's one thing that everybody likes to do it in the society, especially in Southeast Asia, is, oh, you become an artist, you will be poor and instant. Is just society shaping and everything. And there's not to say wrong 100% to that. It's just because how the society conveys and how what's happening in the past until today.
Mm.
To me, what I see this, the aesthetics of it can change,
Mhm.
but it must starts with us. So I can see when I say us being generational,
Mhm.
it's slowly changing actually. I seen a lot of parents allow their children to pursue continue in arts, not as, and then sometimes they even mix and match together, which is surprising, especially in psychology one.
Mm-hmm.
I have one person who studied psychology
Mm-hmm.
in mental health and focus in art therapy.
Mm.
Art therapy. So what is that? Yeah. So even me, I have to work with an art therapist.
Mm-hmm.
Last time they may say there's no money making, right? But
Mm-hmm.
well, probably maybe check them out or something, and it becomes one of the high paid job in Malaysia, but not in a very niche lah. It's still niche actually. It's still niche.
Indonesia.
It's
Oh.
technically like a doctor. Yeah, you're looking for it, and then you have to pay. Then you
Yeah.
have to spend time. People teach you drawing. Actually, there is,
Mm-hmm.
but it's very niche and it's not very common for now.
Mm.
But it still is. It has a long way to go lah, especially in Malaysia, because people would think like, oh, is there an art class?
Yeah.
Why should I need to learn art thing?
in,
Yeah.
in what I do, I also come across, they call it MCAT, mindful
Okay.
compassion art therapy, and we actually use it for what you do, eliciting the emotions and then allowing the emotions to come out so that we can process it. And also for patients with dementia, for example, sometimes when they can't speak, but then actually invoke something inside of them that is maybe
Yes.
primal or something from their childhood, and it's actually
Agree.
a avenue for healing to take place.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that kind of thing, yeah, it's still new,
Mhm.
but yeah, it at least it's starting slowly but surely. But I just hope that in the future, hopefully, the government actually provide more space for this area to grow.
Yeah.
Because eventually, you still need both.
Yes. Art and science. Art and
Yes.
science. Yeah.
Cannot go away one.
Yeah. And Kendrick, what words of wisdom can you share to people who would love to explore a career in art?
Be patient. That's one thing.
Mhm.
You must be very patient and never give up. I see it a lot of artists. In my 19 years of doing it, right? A lot of artists go up, go up, give up, go up, give up, go up, give up. Only a few of us managed to survive until today, including like the earlier that you just said, COVID Bozies, Ernest Ng. So it's not easy actually. It's really not easy to become an artist. But if you can make a difference in the society by contributing, this is what art is all about actually, including science as well. Everything. In the end, we live our life to reach a point where we need to like pass down to the next generation, or else there's nothing. What are we in this world? So to leave a legacy or something, it depends on how you live in happy life, but at the same time passing down to your next generation. So there's something, yeah, to me is never give up and be patient, because you do need a lot of patience, because once you're not patient, you won't got into actually create something. Yeah, I know nowadays, because that's what happened every time when you go to an art therapy class. The first thing they tell you, put your phone away, chill, and not to say empty your mind, bring your mind to a very that you can relax. There's a lot of people before they ask to draw, they ask you to do that one, because there's too many in your mind, and then you're like, oh, I have meetings, I have this and that, can't do anything, and you won't solve your problem. But once you patience enough, you chill enough, right? You're okay, right? Then you realize you can actually do art.
Your advice to them will be passion and patience, right?
Yeah, patient and patient.
Wow,
yes,
nice.
these two P's. Remember that.
And this brings up also a question is like, where do you get your inspiration from? Other than just now you mentioned researching through AI or researching in Pinterest, do you like go to nature and then you receive some hot creative ideas, or do you meditate and that's how your ideas come? I'm curious.
That's actually in the city. I always meditate before I have a good night sleep. So what I do is, before that I will do like a prayer, think what's happening today, that kind of thing. Then after that I meditate and feel in mind. Don't think too much, and then meditate. Then after that, then I got an idea. I write it down. I go sleep. I usually start my project. Yes, I start my project after a good night's sleep. You do need to have a good sleep, to be honest. Yeah, because sometimes we are artists. Once we have the idea, we scared we got lost, right? We have to immediately go do it, and then after that we realize that it's already been 2 days that you didn't sleep. Oh, that's bad, by the way. That's not good for your health. Yeah, that's what I learned along the way. Yeah, the most powerful one that actually, besides only meditate, is actually to look at nature. So I grew up in the countryside, which I'm now in Tandem, for example. So everywhere is greens, clouds, nature.
Yes.
And nature is like a big canvas, changes every day. And that's something that I'm blessed for, because I grew up in a state
Mhm.
where there's a lot of patterns. Even my tribe, the tribes here, the local indigenous people, they have different tribe, nature, including nature, everything. It's actually calling you, saying that this is an inspiration for you. Take it and go, take it and go, that kind of thing.
I love that. I love that. And I'm not sure whether this is you know of this, but I was working in Sabah for about 2 years and 4 months. Initially in KK, of course, KK, Likas, Queen 1, Queen 2. Then after that, I got posted to Ladatu, and I was in Ladatu for about 4 months. And what I love about Sabah is the sunsets. I love Sabah with
Oh,
the
okay.
nature, Sungai Babagon, Kundasang, Kinabalu Park, Tunku Abdul Rahman Park, Sepilo, and then of course Sipadan, which is I think the one of the most beautiful dive spots in the world. And also, I also went to Batu Tuluk. I also went to Tenom. I also went all those places where people never go, like Mahua and everything. And I think Sabah is well endowed with nature, and it's such an inspiration and also such a healing space to be in. Yeah,
Agree. Yeah. Thank you. But to be honest, I realized that there's a lot of artists
Mhm.
that came from Sabah.
Mm.
They grew up in Sabah. They got so creative.
Mhm.
But of course, a lot of them didn't say that they come from Sabah. They say they come from Borneo or they come from Malaysia. That's how people recognize us as
Mm.
artists. Yeah, there's
Mm.
actually a lot of big shots artists that actually came from Sabah, like Red Hongi,
Red Hongi. Oh,
Sabahan.
oh,
Yeah,
I
but
see.
she's actually one of our was up in Times magazine,
Oh,
the international one. And then
wow.
we also have one of the I call it the one who spreads one. I forgot his name already, but he's also quite famous. He's actually from Sanakan, Sabah as well. So there's a
Mm.
lot of famous artists that comes from Sabah,
Mhm.
and yet a lot of people doesn't know. But probably all of these ideas is just because of the abundance of what Sabah has to offer.
Love that. Love that. Okay. Thank you, Kendrick. And
Yes, thank
where
you.
can other people find out more about you?
All right, so I'm actually available everywhere in social media. So
Uh,
you can find me in Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube.
hmm.
Yeah, but my most active pages are usually Instagram and Facebook. Yeah, so you can find me in Facebook. Just search for KendyLife,
Mhm.
KendyLife. And
Mhm.
as for Instagram, you have to add the double eight at the back.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, there's too many people copying my name.
Okay, I'll put those leads inside the YouTube description after that so that everyone can find you.
Yeah.
And yeah, is there any last summing up or anything that you want to tell the audience or anything you want to ask me even?
Okay. Yeah. First thing first, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
Yeah. So I just hope that we do have more collaborations in the future. Who knows? Because
Mm.
I am actually quite interested in what are you actually doing. Yeah, that's something. Who knows?
Yeah.
Like you just said, maybe it can be further further discuss or further research more when it
Mm.
combined with art. You will never know.
Yeah. Nice, nice.
Yeah.
I love that thought. Now I'm more into corporate wellness training and also
Yes.
peak performance coaching for entrepreneurs. One more question, sorry. And the last part is actually I do spiritual mentoring where I help people dive deep into themselves to find what is their purpose and their
Mm.
calling so that they can bring greater value and greater impact to society once they know who am I, what am I here for, and what
Yes.
am I meant to do in this life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the question I want to ask was that how would you describe the concept of a holistic human in your interpretation?
To me, it's more of understand you. Okay, not to say to understand,
Mm.
to know your true goal
Mm.
in this world and to contribute and to give back to the community,
Mm.
because we grew up together as humans, and
Mm.
humans was, to be honest, we were designed to actually interact with each other.
Mm.
Yeah, there's, yes, we can be alone at times, but I think being alone is also depressing actually. Yeah,
Yes.
so you still need to talk with other people and everything. So why, to me, is why not make your life worth by teaching people and giving back to the community of what you experience in life. So that's what, when I reached, yeah, that's actually
Mm.
my goal. Actually, it's one of my greatest goal, being a whole, and then being a holistic one. To reach that level, I
Mm.
still have a long way to go. Yes, I've been doing here and there,
Mhm.
but to me, that's actually my end goal in life.
Nice.
Yeah, I hope that answers your
Yes, yes,
question.
yes, yes, definitely. And that's why you also moved, like your company was established in KL but then you went
Yes.
back to Tenom, Sabah, so that you can contribute to society and education back in your
Yes.
hometown.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks so much, Kendrick, for sharing your wisdom with us today.
Thank you.
And I'd love to see what we can collaborate on someday. And I
Yes.
also what I believe is that it's a medium of expression, it's a medium
Yes.
of healing, and it's also a medium that can bring us to our in terms of spirituality, because art in the form of sacred geometry, for example, when we reach very high states of meditation, symbols become very important, and that's where actually there could be a somehow an origin of religious symbols or everything. It came from deep states of meditation, and then in terms of symbols, and then it's brought through art to the world today.
Yes. Correct. Yeah. Yeah. There's actually a few things I can get from you. I just got inspired by some of it.
Oh, nice. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. This is actually pretty useful. I'm actually
Okay.
writing it down.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, reach out to me anytime. We'll be happy to help. Okay.
Yes. All right. Yeah.
Thank you, Kendrick. Thank you for
All
joining us.
right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe, like and bell button to stay updated in our latest videos. Thank you.